In the first week of December, between 8th and 12th of December, I plan to be in Muscat in the Sultanate of Oman. Those who would like to see me in Oman can get in touch with my team. There's a WhatsApp number given below and there's an email ID also given below. So those desirous of getting in touch with me at the Sultanate of Oman, especially in the city of Muscat from 8th to 12th of December, can definitely contact me there. I hope to see you all in Oman soon. Thank you for watching. Be rich.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Today we're going to talk about something which I wanted to pick Anand's brain on. One of his favorite companies, which he's always spoken to me about, is Intel. And I would like to ask him what happened to Intel. Such a big company, such a giant, has fallen to the wayside so dramatically. What did they do wrong? What happened? What would Andy Grove say if he was alive today? I'd like to know, and I'd like to ask Anand justly what happened to Intel, Anand.
You want to make some fun of me anyway. Andy Grove is one of my great heroes, a Hungarian Jew who escaped communist Soviet Union and swam across a ditch. In fact,
Correct.
his first biography was Swimming Across the Ditch, my
Yeah.
favorite book. And I was always in the hope that this new guy will do something to turn it around. If there are two companies which change the way we compute today, one is Microsoft and the other is Intel.
Very true.
Microsoft was very lucky to have Satya, though I still think he should do a better job than what he has done. But he has at least found a second wind for Microsoft that we will discuss some other day.
True.
But Andy Grove could not have any great successor. He died of prostate cancer very early at 68. And so there is no Andy Grove to come back and save Intel. For all purposes, Intel is dead and dying and dead. Yes, Intel will survive as a company. They have now maneuvered Joe Biden to pass a CHIPS Act, and a lot of money will go from the federal government, and they will use this fear in America that China and Taiwan are going to fight. So they'll put a big fabrication facility in America at government expense and become a factory and make chips for other people.
Correct.
But that is not what Intel was supposed to be. And so Intel has sold its soul. I can't say anything more than this. These guys should rot in hell for what they have done to Intel. Intel was a company which, along with Microsoft, was picked by IBM
Yes.
as the common source
To
for
supply.
making processors. It was the Intel processor and the DOS and Windows software,
True.
which put every PC on our table, which made all these revolutions possible.
Very true.
Intel was started by two men, Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore, and a few people who came with them from another company where they were not very happy. And one of the most important people who came along with them, who made Intel what it is today, is of course Andy Grove. And after Bob Noyce retired, it was Gordon Moore and Andy Grove who ran Intel and made it what it is today. Intel started as a company that made soft-core magnetic hard disks for large mainframes.
Yes. Long time
And they
ago.
were very profitable because they were the first OEMs to make it, supply it separately very profitably and making good money.
Yes.
Till the Japanese found out
How to.
how to do it better, and Hitachi and Toshiba decided to teach these guys how to make
Correct.
a lesson. And Andy Grove quickly realized that he cannot survive
Making this. Yeah.
making this, and this would go dead. In his book, The Only the Paranoid Survive, he says he and Gordon Moore had a discussion. And they said, if somebody buys Intel, what would they do?
Correct.
So he said they would come back, they would come in, they would kill the magnetic memory, which was 90% of the turnover of the company,
At that point in time.
and concentrate only on the 10% business, which was the microprocessor business,
True.
and grow it very big. Imagine a company overnight giving up almost what was 90% of its business. They did do it. They came back out of the room. They restructured the business. They got out of magnetic cores and
Very
they
true.
started making processors. And they were so paranoid. It used to be compared with Gillette. Like Gillette would make its shaving blades obsolete.
Yes.
Intel used to make its processor obsolete. I was there, I was a trader and selling, buying, and trading in Intel chips. The greatest fear was
The 286, 386, the
if the
486.
processor was lying with you and the Intel would make it obsolete, you would be stuck with stock.
Very true.
And millions of computers around the world was created by Intel. Intel did another thing. It ended the monopoly of manufacturers. So they had a do-it-yourself kit.
Very true.
People could assemble their own computers.
Yes.
I have so myself sold thousands of assembled computers where you could assemble these things at home. And the parts used to come from everywhere. All you needed was an Intel motherboard, Intel processor, and a chipset motherboard. It could be an Intel motherboard, it could be an Asus motherboard, it could be any brand.
The fact that they made it so affordable was what created our, so
Yeah,
fostered our software boom, the IT
if
boom.
India is
Even
what it is
today,
today,
yes.
it is because Intel decided to allow you to assemble your own machines. That
At a
means
fraction of the cost.
at a fraction of the cost of what a large company would do. Those days, if a compact machine cost 1 lakh to make, buy, the same machine could be assembled for 55,000.
Very true.
And a lot of people who are today big programmers and big coders in their mid 40s and 50s succeeded because they could buy an affordable an Intel processor and do it.
And help create the Infosys, the Cognizants, the Wipros.
The IT revolution in India came because of that.
Very true.
And then what he did, there was a Pentium processor which he launched, and there was a floating point error which some mathematics professor came up with, which was on the floating, which was on the 76th decimal.
True.
And then what they did, the whole world thought that Intel lost it. And how Intel, in Harvard crisis management, that the way he handled Pentium crisis was a case study, and in which he said, I will replace all the Pentium processors.
True.
A lot of Pentium processors came, it was replaced free of charge. Intel was a master company with using lawsuits to keep competitors away,
All under Andy Grove.
all under Andy Grove. The sad part is when Andy Grove left, it was the Wall Street types and the financiers who took over, and they ruined this brand. They milked it. They never concentrated to the next level. They didn't. They had an ARM license, which basically was a processor at a cheaper, at a lower consumption of power,
Very true.
which is what Intel should have developed. Instead, they were milking the company for dividends. They did not invest enough in R&D. What they did is they borrowed money to pay dividends. And here, this year, they are going to sack 10,000 people. But at the same time, they have borrowed money to give dividends. In fact, a good friend of mine came from the US. He's a senior employee in Intel, and he was discussing Intel to me. He said it will survive as a manufacturing company. I said the company has split. It's lost its moorings. It does not know why it is
There
there,
anymore, yes.
why this existence, and what a glorious history it had, and how it changed the world. A bunch of Wall Street financiers have got together and destroyed this company. A next guy who should have been the original CEO, who went outside, has been brought back. But again, he is looking at survival by going back to being a OEM manufacturer. That's not what Intel's soul is about. Intel's soul is about building better and cheaper
Very true.
processors. They missed the telecom revolution. They missed the mobile revolution. In fact, they have now lost out on the client revolution. That is the PC and the laptop. It's AMD which is dominating. This is ridiculous. And all these guys were stripping that company. And it's
Sad
lost
times.
its glory. It's a very sad state that people like, I can't believe that there are companies like NVIDIA which does graphics, Qualcomm have overtaken this great company as provider of latest technologies.
True.
I don't know what to say. And if you must go back, you must read Andy Grove. You must read that Swimming Across the Ditch. You must read a book called High Output Management, which he wrote when he was a manager of Intel. And when he that Intel Pentium problem came, he wrote the book called Only the Paranoid Survive.
Survive. Yes.
It's sad that they couldn't handle transition properly. The company lost its way. They lost everything. This is a very low price stock. So maybe it will double from here and you will still get 100%. But this is not a stock that you're going to own forever and it will make money.
True.
It's tragic. I don't know what else to say.
Well, this gives you a nice contrast to what we were talking about a few days ago when Anand said when we're talking about these IT companies like Google, where the promoters had stepped down and moved out, Microsoft had stepped down and moved out, and Jeff Bezos had stepped down and moved out. In a company like this, having the vision of the promoter still inside the running of the company would have been beneficial for Intel. This is a complete contrast of seeing how it is when a visionary moves away out of the company.
Anyway, thank you for watching Be Rich. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell notification. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you will not be notified every time we put out a video. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.